Do you feel you were born for more? Get ready to uncover your God-given purpose so you can impact the world with your gifts, your talents, and your story. Welcome to our Purpose Power Summit. I'm your host, Mimika Cooney, and today's guest is going to share how to tell your story in an authentic way. Heather DeSantis, top millennial to follow and thought leader of 2018, is an internationally recognized PR expert who helps mission-driven entrepreneurs and organizations get major exposure, impact millions, and turn that influence into business growth. After 3 years of working for a PR firm, she branched out and started the influencer revolution to help her clients land dozens of high-level media appearances on outlets like ABC, Fox, CBS, CNN, iHeartMedia, Forbes, Business Insider, Yahoo, CNBC, Marie Claire, and many more. Heather loves being able to help people spread their message and grow their business at the same time using proven methods to land tons of media opportunities that result in raving fans and new customers. Her relationships with producers span across different industries, and chances are if you want in on a certain outlet, she knows the right person to reach out to. So welcome, Heather. Welcome to our Summit Series. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm really excited, Mimika.
Well, I'm going to say to everybody, if you're listening to this, that excuse the background noise. We are doing the best we can because Heather is always on the road. And to catch her in a moment, to be able to share with her, we caught her in the sunny San Diego in a coffee shop. So we're going to say thanks so much for squeezing us in. You have got a lot of information you want to share with us. So do excuse the noise. It doesn't matter. This is life. Like you said, this is what the life of an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So before we get into the content of what you're going to share, tell the audience about your backstory and how you got to doing what you're doing today.
I got my start working at an advertising agency as a publicist, where I'd only work with food brands, brands like Panera Bread, and even working with major NFL players. And I loved it. Every week I had to secure 35 interviews per week and figure out how to get creative about talking about pork rinds and green beans. And I figured out if I could do that, I could do anything. When I graduated high school, I was a Girl Scout at the time and actually did a lot of community service. And then, years previous, my dad passed away of lung cancer. And, legacy was really important to me. And because of the fact that he was an entrepreneur, it was really in my heart to become an entrepreneur as well.
That's awesome. And you've really had that passion of, connecting with people. And Heather and I have had the lovely pleasure of spending a weekend together at a retreat. So we've got to know each other. And I can tell you, Heather knows how to get people connected because you are the ultimate connector when it comes to putting the right people together and great on relationships. Now, you definitely shine in, helping people, whether you especially your cause-driven, and your business is called Publicity for Good, which I think is really awesome because you love to help people who have a good message. So it really impacts many people. So she's definitely one of those purpose-driven entrepreneurs with a heart for the Lord who really likes to share, what she does with total passion. So I know many of you who are listening today have perhaps have a story, or you have a dream. You want to do a business. You want to pitch a product. You want to write a book, and you don't know how to get it out there. You're great at writing, perhaps, but maybe you're not great at promotion. Well, Heather's going to dive in with some really actionable tips about how you can actually tell your story in an authentic way, because it's your story that really separates you from the rest. So go for it, Heather. Give us some tips.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, you have to come from a place of service. That's what I tell people first. And I think a lot of people get afraid to do media or tell their story. But I believe that if it's in your heart, then you want to do media, that it's in your heart for a reason, that you absolutely have to proceed and move forward. Even if you feel like you're not ready, even if you have nowhere to start, and even if you overthink it. And I would say, regardless of where you are in your business, you have your story and conviction of your business. And that's really more than enough.
So definitely starting with passion and then knowing what it is you want to do and having a good heart about it. Because I think what you mean is if somebody's like, I just want to get as much exposure because I just want to make millions, that's great, but it's not really in line with your ideals, right? And what you feel, because I've worked in TV before for years, and I know as well as what makes a great story, it makes a good guest. And like if you can authentically share your story, that like you mentioned, like you were really affected by your dad's death, and how that like made you rethink things. Where you're on one mission going somewhere, and you realize that this has got to mean something. So I definitely think that is a great place to start. So what would you say to someone who perhaps doesn't even know what to do first? Like what would you say would be the requirements in order to pitch those people? Because you first have to pitch them, right? And maybe explain what that even means.
So I always tell people first, start with the Oprah effect. So if Oprah were to call you tomorrow and say, I want you on Super Soul Sunday, what would be your message and what would you talk about? So really starting there, where do you see yourself? What's the end goal? What do you want your message to be? And then from there, you should figure out the 3 to 4 topics you want to talk about. Now, for these 3 to 4 topics, it's really important to get very detailed. So if you want to talk about women's happiness, go deeper. So for example, helping women transition from being a mom to having their kids not there anymore. Or if it's how to transition out of corporate America, you need to get really, really, really specific about what you want to talk about. Also, too, you really have to truly understand the relevancy of why your message matters. And, the media really wants to know the relevancy in stats. So before I send any pitch, I do research and pull stats from other news articles on the topic. So that's really important too. So, what I would do is if you want to talk about burnout rate of entrepreneurship or motherhood or whatever, take that topic and go to Google to get some inspiration to see what the media already is doing articles on. A lot of times I'll actually watch Good Morning America, or I'll see a major article that maybe Forbes did on a certain topic, and then use that as leverage to pitch my clients as experts. So that's really where the inspiration comes. And then, of course, I would say it's really important that your story and your pitch is timely and relevant, connected to breaking news and or an awareness day. So we can think about the new year and New Year's resolutions. We can think about spring break time and the pressures that we have as women and to be in a bikini, to our kids are home, like I'm stressed, it's spring break, to tax season, to summertime, to Christmas, holidays. How do you support people, and how can you use your messaging to help people with where they are today? Because I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're so focused on selling our product that we really need to focus and switch to really being a vessel of knowledge, and realize that the more we share our message and provide value, the more we really will sell.
So when you're saying providing value, what does that mean exactly? So if someone has a story, would you say it's based on the life lessons that you've learned, that maybe you would share that with somebody as advice?
Life lessons you learned. A lot of times the media would love to share like top tips or, 5 to 10 tips learned. Those are all things that the media want to share is like top tips. And literally, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're an entrepreneur and your business is taxes, but you also have a side passion project for a charity or cause, you absolutely can do press around what you're passionate about and still use that as leverage. Because at the end of the day, people see you as an expert on TV or in the media. You have a photo of you being done by the media, and then you can still use that on your webpage.
So what you definitely is saying is, I think a lot of us get stuck thinking, oh, well, I'm not perfect, well, I'm not trained, or I haven't got all my stuff together. But sometimes it's kind of like what we would call a backdoor PR. Like, for instance, now with the Winter Olympics going on, last week we had a local TV show that came to our rink and actually filmed us adult skaters, because I'm part of an adult skating group, and asked us questions about what makes you interested about skating. And again, it's all tied into what's happening right now, where you might find
Love it.
yeah, so it's like that's my passion and what I do for fun. But as they interview me and ask me, not that I had a chance this time, I know you'll be like, oh, but I'm like, it's okay, we're part of a group. When you have a chance, you would share your story and they would say, well, tell us about you. And then you would kind of like through the back door mention that you're writing a book or you have a business or you have a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of get the message across, right? Is that just kind of
Yeah, and I totally agree. And it's all about relationships. So like, you're like, okay, I know the story and what I want to talk about. Here's the thing. Local media will only have local guests. So if you live in Charlotte or you live in Indianapolis, you have an X factor over me because I don't live there. So if I pitched myself to be on the show, they would say no to me, but they would say no, they would say yes to you.
So kind of location is more relevant.
Absolutely. And they want to know how is it impacting their local community. They don't care what a California girl is doing.
Right. So it's definitely like bring it local, make it more personal, and kind of like, so what other things do you think you'd need? Because some people think, well, I would know the first thing to do to pitch myself. Would you say you have to have like, I know you could mention this about the bio, the headshot, maybe the media kit. Do we need to have all that organized first before you pitch the media or no?
I'm so old school. I think people overthink it. I mean, what I do first and foremost is before I pitch anyone, I watch the local morning news to get in flow for their show and see if they have guests on. And then from there, I connect with the anchors and TV personalities on Twitter and just start sharing their content and kind of become a friend with them. And then from there, a lot of these TV personalities go to local charity events. So I go to these events just to form an authentic friendship. But along the way, I think people overthink it. If you send a pitch to the news station and say, hi, I'm Sarah, I'm a nutritionist, and March is National Nutrition Month, relevancy, stats. I would love to come on to do a cooking demo to talk about how to navigate the grocery aisle, share your ideas, or I'm open to any ideas that you have. Here's my bio. Let me know how I can help you. Because your producers in media have a certain amount of interviews they have to book every day. So you are doing them a huge service. And it's really cool because it opens up the dialogue for a synergistic relationship. They might call you and say, you know what? We're doing a story right now and we need to get some opinion, or you know what? Come in and do a cooking demo. It's really about forming the relationship and being nimble to what the media needs. Now, they might come back at you saying, Mimika, we're doing a segment on why knitting is becoming a hot new trend. Well, fortunately, Mimika, you're going to have to do some research on knitting and embody it. It's really learning to be nimble for the media and to fill the need. If it's totally not in alignment and it doesn't feel like a good fit, you can say no, but it's really about being nimble. Mimika, what if they're we're doing a segment on traveling and lessons learned traveling. Can you come on and talk about that? Of course, you ideally want to talk about other topics, but it's are you willing to be the go-to person for the media on a variety of topics, which I believe will do you a greater good than if you just want to talk about one topic. So kind of building you to be kind of their go-to media personality. And the segments, as you know, are only 3 minutes. And you really can be as honest in your opinion as possible.
Right. So kind of don't really think of it as a once and done thing. Working with the media is definitely a relationship, because I know as well, especially with the summit, looking for guests, I had to reach over 100 people before I got 20 that would be a good fit. So not everybody is a good fit for a certain segment. And then the logistics of trying to get somebody on a show or somebody, and if someone is unreliable, that's another thing that creates more cheese, is if they don't reply to emails or little things like that. We sometimes think, well, why are they not, responding to me? If you can be cordial and have a good ethic about being helpful and, and pitching ideas and oh, okay, that's a great idea. I never thought about that. You're saving them time, which is huge.
I totally agree.
Let's take another route quickly about another media outlet. Let's say somebody wants to become a guest blogger on, say, Huffington Post. What is a good way to start that up?
Great. So the Huffington Post changed. So you can't be a blogger blogger anymore for the Huffington Post. There are options now where so the contributor platform is gone. So you either can reach out to the Huffington Post directly and have them do a feature story on you, that's opinion, or do a Q&A. But here's the thing. A lot of people dream and really want to be in the Forbes and the Entrepreneur and Business Insiders of the world and write. But even to get to that level, they're going to ask you, who are you writing for? How often are you writing? And what's your plan for sharing those articles? So what I would do is actually go to Google and type in like top health blogs, top fitness blogs, and like pull a target list and reach out to those people to see if you can be a guest writer. Also, utilize social media, post on Facebook or in a group, say, hey guys, is anyone looking for original blog content in alignment with these topics? I would love to be a writer for your website and share with my community. I mean, that, social media can speed up the process too. Even too, sometimes when I work with people, I'll have them post on social media and say, hey guys, I'm really excited. I really want to start doing interviews. Who do you know that's a media member and or has a podcast? And time again, people are getting booked. People are tagging. It's amazing.
I mean, just being able to post it, like if you've seen our summit interview today on social media, I probably guarantee that you did before you heard about it somewhere else. And the shareability and the virality of it which is what I love about it, is people sharing messages and connecting that way. So what tips would you give for someone who wants to be a speaker, like say actually pitching themselves? Are there any particular tips that you would say would relate to that?
Yeah. So with speaking, I really do believe that perhaps considering writing a book will support you with speaking. I would say do a book before you start speaking. But if you want to start speaking, I would really start local. I'm a huge fan of local media and I'm a huge fan of local. So like go speak at your Chamber of Commerce, go speak at a women's organization, go speak at a library, go speak at a women's group, get taping of that. And when you've done maybe 5, from there, you can physically put your name and bio on different speakers bureaus' websites where these companies and agencies will seek speaking engagements for you where they'll pay you and they'll just take a cut. So it's cool, and that you only pay them when they secure you a speaking gig.
Right. So it's kind of like, again, starting small, relationships, building, kind of finding a good fit, and then sort of up-leveling as you go along. What tips can you give us about tools? Like, for instance, the one-pager, for those who don't know what that is, maybe you want to explain a bit like, the headshots, the bio, all that kind of makes it easy to pitch somebody?
Yeah, so I would say a couple things. On your website, create a press page, and on your press page, have your headshot, your bio, the key topics you want to talk about. And then also from there, I would add a calendar link that the media can book you directly for their calendar. But then also too, anytime you get a yes from the media, you can just send them to your media page. And then also when you start doing interviews, you need to make sure that you update your website with the logos, you update your Facebook, you put it on LinkedIn at the bottom where publications is. And also every media you get, you send to your email list as content. And you keep sharing on social media. So I'm on this podcast. It's going to run, whenever. I will share my interview with Mimika monthly because it's content and value for my community. And I think that's where people miss it. I think people miss an opportunity of continuously sharing their interview, but then also the teaser leading up to it going live. So, for example, once you secure an interview, doing a Facebook Live to share with your community is so excited. I just got done doing an interview. 5 days until my interview is live. Just making an interview last much longer than the day itself, I think it's huge.
Definitely. So kind of like, doing the build up, getting excited, and then when it's online and sharing it, but then rehashing it, because that's the other thing is you have new people, especially if you're building an email list or become fans of your page or whatever. The new people don't know what you did like a month or 6 months ago. So there's no harm in resharing and repurposing your content. And I'm a huge proponent for that. Just kind of use what you have and use it over and over.
Yeah.
It doesn't get old.
Agreed. So, no, totally agree.
So I got to mention to everybody that today Heather has kindly donated an awesome gift, which I'm sure you're going to love. It's her 5 tips to get on TV. It's a pitch template that you can download. So make sure to go to mimikacooney.com and click on the Summit tab and go and download that. You can actually print it off and work it out and like work on it, so you can kind of create your own pitch. And be able to, start working and putting all those tips. And like, I'm definitely going to go back and make some notes of re-listen to this interview. I'm like, wait, I forgot to do this. Oh, I got to do this. I need to update. So it's some awesome tips. But what would you say, would there be any closing out tips that you might want to mention?
I would say, so the resources I'm giving to you all who are part of the summit, you have to understand that I've secured more than 9,000 interviews since 2012. So like, I'm literally giving you the keys to the kingdom to have success. So you need to take action. And I really think if you create a black and white plan of the media that you want to interview. So what I would do is spend some time like praying about it and doing research and making your local target list of speaking opportunities and press. Following my tools, and then just doing the work, knowing that when the time is right, you'll get the yes, then, you're going to be amazing. I mean, I'm able to be so successful because of pure intentions and just knowing that when the time is right, I'll get a yes. If you pitch a TV segment, you might not get a yes until 2 weeks or 2 months later when the producer is working on something, but it's just the blind faith, because it's your story, your faith, and you're using tools that are proven to get you the results.
Definitely. So it's like, just keep at it, just keep reaching out, and it's like a continual process. It's not just something you do once and are over. But tell everyone how they can reach out to you, because you've got a ton of content as well that you share online. So tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, which is just Heather DeSantis, and you'll find my name here. But, honestly, I share a lot of free PR opportunities, content, tips, just to really support you. And if you have more questions or anything, Mimika and I are good friends, and I want to take good care of you all. So you can ask me questions and we'll support you just because.
Exactly. And that is usually people charge for that, people. So if you're listening, Heather's kindly, she's very great. She's super quick on Facebook Messenger. So if you reach out to her, she certainly will be in touch with you, especially if you have, God's put something on your heart that you need to birth, like whether it's a book, a business, a ministry. You have that idea, but you don't know how to get the word out there, because you could have the best product, the best book, but if nobody knows about it, it's a complete waste. So that's totally awesome, and I appreciate all those contents. So I say, if you enjoyed what Heather had to share today, make sure to click the share button below and share it with your friends, because you never know, someone else needs to hear what she has to say. And definitely reach out to her on social media and tell her that you found her on the Summit Series. We'd love to be able to further support you, and go ahead and download that free toolkit at mimikacooney.com and click on the Summit button. So, and all the links will be below this video if you're watching this online, and if you're listening on iTunes, go to mimikacooney.com and all the information will be there. But any last closing words you want to say, Heather?
No, just do it and be excited. And everyone that's listening, you have to have a non-negotiable to start doing press, because literally you don't know all the greatness ahead for you.
Exactly. You're missing out on opportunities by not taking action. So there you go. You got tips. You've got your work cut out for you. I'd love to hear the feedback when you've implemented things, and, we love to be able to, celebrate any wins with you. So definitely be in touch with both of us and let us know how it goes. But I say thanks, Heather, for joining me on today. I'm so glad you were able to squeeze us into your busy calendar. And for everyone who's listening, thanks so much for joining us on the Purpose Power Summit series. Until next time, take care. Become a partner and join the Mimika TV family today.